Today we're going to continue looking into European exploration of Texas. We're going to learn about Cabeza de Vaca's journey. Before we begin, let's look at a warm-up question. What would you do if you were stranded on an unknown land? Would you make friends with local people, learn to survive off the land, wait for rescue, try to find your way home? Hold up 1, 2, 3, or 4 fingers, showing the answer you chose. All right, now look around the room. Find someone who chose differently than you, holding up a different number of fingers, and we are going to go and discuss with your partner. I'm going to give you 1 minute, 30 seconds each to discuss your answer with your partner. Remember, you're finding someone who chose a different answer than you. Hold up your fingers and go find a partner. And start discussing. Partner's turn to discuss. Finish up your conversation. Come on back to your spot and let's continue the podcast. Today we're going on an incredible journey back in time to the 1500s. Imagine being shipwrecked on an unknown shore, not knowing if you'll ever see your home again. That's exactly what happened to our main character, Alvar Núñez Cabeza de Vaca. Before we dive into this amazing story, let's set the scene. It's 1527, and Spain is eager to explore and claim new lands. Cabeza de Vaca, and yes, his name actually means cowhead in Spanish, joins a huge expedition to Florida. Picture this, 600 men on ships sailing across the Atlantic Ocean, dreaming of riches and glory. But things don't go as planned, not even close. Storms hit their ships hard. Many get lost, and soon they're trying to survive in small boats they built themselves. These makeshift boats eventually crash near what we now know as Galveston Island, Texas. And here's where it gets really interesting. Out of those 600 men who started the journey, only 4 survived. Cabeza de Vaca was one of them. Now, if you were stranded in an unknown land, what would you do? Cabeza de Vaca had to figure this out the hard way. He spent the next 8 years walking across Texas. But here's what makes his story so special. Instead of fighting against the Native Americans he met, he learned from them. He lived among different tribes like the Carincala and the Caddo peoples. He learned their languages, how they survived off the land, and even became a healer. That's right, this Spanish explorer became known as a medicine man among the Native Americans. But wait, there's more. Cabeza de Vaca wasn't just surviving. He was learning and observing everything around him. He wrote down details about Texas that no European had ever recorded before. He described the landscape, the plants, the animals, and most importantly, he wrote about the Native American peoples with respect and understanding. Think about this. He was the first European to really walk through Texas and write about it. It's like he was creating the first travel guide to Texas, but way back in the 1500s. When he finally made it back to Spain, he wrote a book called Relación about his adventures. This book changed how many Europeans thought about the New World and its people. Instead of seeing Native Americans as savages, his writings showed them as real people with their own cultures and knowledge. So, why should we care about the story today? Well, Cabeza de Vaca teaches us many important lessons. Sometimes the worst situations can lead to amazing experiences. It's important to respect and learn from people who are different from us. Survival often depends on being willing to adapt and learn new things. Before we wrap up, let's think about this. What would you write about if you were exploring somewhere totally new today? What would surprise you? What would you want other people to know? That's all for today's episode of Lost in Texas. Remember, Cabeza de Vaca's journey wasn't just about survival. It was about learning, understanding, and bringing different cultures together. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to discuss these 3 questions with your classmates. Number 1, how did Cabeza de Vaca survive for 8 years? Find a partner next to you and discuss how did Cabeza de Vaca survive for 8 years in Texas. Next question, what made his writings so special and different from other explorers? Discuss with your partner. Final question, how did his experience change him as a person?